Good afternoon, Shesh. Thank you so much for being here. To begin with, can you please tell me something about yourself?
Hey, hi Juhi. I'm Sirish Dixit. I'm from Kanpur. I'm an undergraduate with a knowledge of operations. In the past, I have worked in the MSME sector, and at present, I'm working in one of the world's biggest corporate giants. So that's something about my professional life and something about me personally. I would say that I am a quadriplegic, and by quadriplegic, I mean I have a spinal cord injury, which makes me paralyzed from my neck down, affecting all four of my limbs. That's who I am.
All right. Thank you so much, Shesh. So I can see that you have applied for the position of an operations executive. Could you please tell me how has your past experience prepared you for this particular role, and what interests you the most about this role?
So, sure, Juhi. So, in my personal company organization, which I used to work, it was an MSME. So the operations there are quite different from how corporates work, right? So on the ground level, what we see is very different from what we see on Excel and spreadsheets. As I saw in the job description, what I'll be dealing with, be Indian businesses, especially the stores that you guys have partnered with. So that would be very similar to the past role that I was in. So I think that would be, uh, although challenging, but still I have a certain level of knowledge of how Indian businesses operate and how operation works on the ground level. So that would be my answer for that.
All right. Thank you. Can you tell me about one of your proudest professional accomplishments?
Okay. So one of my proudest accomplishment was in 2017. So in 2017, I was able to move my company's production to 4x with the same manpower and with the same machinery, just by removing the bottlenecks and just by implementing some of the processes changes, which really gave us a good boost in the sales and production. So that
That's
would be my
amazing.
biggest
That's amazing.
accomplishment.
Thank you so much for sharing. Shesha, I would also like you to tell me about a situation or a time when you were faced with a challenging situation. And what solution did you come up with in such a time?
Okay. So one of the most challenging situations was, I think it was when I started in that company. I am not a very good, I was actually not a very good people's person. So one of the challenges that I faced there was how to tackle the workers in the factory, how to talk with them, how do I persuade them to not just work, to work better. That was my goal there. And I failed there at least for the first 6 months. But to overcome that, I took the help of my seniors and tried to learn how to talk to them. So my answer to that would be to overcome, the best way to overcome is to learn from your seniors and implement those learnings in your work. And
All
that's what
right.
I
Thank
did.
you
And
so much.
yeah,
Could you tell me some of your greatest strengths?
okay. So my greatest strength would be multitasking. I could do multiple jobs at one time without losing my focus.
Okay. And what about your challenges or your weaknesses?
Yeah, as I mentioned that I was not a very good people's person, so still I'm working on it. And I would say that my biggest weakness would be being less empathetic towards people, but I'm constantly trying to improve on it. I'm taking actions and I'm constantly reading about it and learning more to be more empathetic towards people.
All right. Could you give me an example of a time when you showed leadership qualities?
Yeah. So to me, to answer that, I would say what I understand about leadership is to not just lead from the front and just to uh, always talk about your strengths. To me, leadership is even taking a fall for your team. When the team fails, to take the responsibility of your team's failure on your shoulders. For me, that's leadership. And I did that in 2019 when during Diwali season, we had a huge order. But due to some miscommunication with my workers and leave schedule, I was not able to deliver that said order where the whole team failed and I took the whole responsibility for it. So that would be the time I took I showed leadership quality in my role.
Uh, Thank you, Shish. I also would like you to tell me about a time when you failed and how did you deal with that failure?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, my biggest failure was during that time only in Diwali in 2019. So as we know that everyone looks forward to have a good Diwali and have a positive holiday season. But at that time, I failed miserably at that time, and that wasn't a very good experience. But as I've learned in my life throughout, sticking over your losses and just dwelling over failures is not a solution, not something we should do. So I learned from it. The main thing that I learned from it was to have more open conversations and set clear goals for our work. Uh, so yeah, that was the time I failed, and to make sure that I not fail the next time, set a more better understanding, and I set more clear goals with my team now.
Got it. Okay, maybe a slightly tough question now, but would really like to know this. Why should we and why shouldn't we hire you?
Ah, yeah, it's actually a great question. So you shouldn't hire me. I would like to answer that first. So as you might be aware that I have some physical disabilities. So if you are looking for someone who would deliver you results quickly and at the moment, so I am not the person to do that because I have disabilities which takes time. So my limbs don't work. So although I would be able to do the work, but if a normal person takes 1 hour, I'll be taking 1.5 or 2 hours to complete the same time. So to not hire me, that would be your reason. And to hire me, if you want to get your work done in the best way, I am your guy.
Lovely, Shrish. Thank you. Thank you so much for letting us know that. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
So you want a generic answer for that, or do you want
Both personal as well as professional.
so generic one would be same. I want to see myself successful. I want
Yeah.
to see myself excel in the field in whatever I am. But if I would say in my role, how would I see myself in the 5 year? So in my role, I would say if a senior leadership asks me about anything going on in operations, be it in my field or if it is even in the same domain, I should know the answer to each and every questions, every answer to those questions. That is how I see myself in 5 years. I should know everything, each and everything about operations in my department, especially.
All right. Shrish, what are some of the challenges you face due to your disability and how can we help?
Okay. So the biggest challenge that I have faced in the past was that people don't really know about the type of disability I have. So when they, uh, first of all, quadriplegia is not something very common, although it's common for us because we are dealing with it. So we know more people with the same injury, but for the layman, they don't know about it. So for them, uh, it is a really new thing, and they are not more aware about it, how it affects us. So disability is a very broad term, and I would like more people to know about the type of disability I am having. So that is something that I would like my employer to know more about.
So awareness and
Uh,
sensitization.
yeah, basically, awareness is the main thing.
Okay. All right, Shrish. Do you have any questions for me?
Uh, yeah, actually, I do. So I would like to know what expectations do you have from me in this role?
Yes, Shrish. So to answer your question, as you know, and you've gone to the JD, as an operations executive, you will be in charge of several stores and you will have to take
Okay.
care of a lot of people, a lot of employees will be working under you as well. So what we are primarily looking at is excellent leadership skills, being able to navigate through challenges, ups and downs, and the ability to deal with uncertainties. So these are the primary qualities that we are looking for in our candidate.
Got it.
Training will be provided, so you have nothing to worry about.
That's great.
Yes, all right, Shrish, thank you so much for your time. It was a wonderful interview and was very nice interacting with you as well.
Thanks a lot, Jui. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, now, Shrish, I will be giving you some feedback about the interview, all right? Close fast, good points. Very well conveyed. All your points were very clear. All the questions were answered very accurately. I loved the fact that you added timelines. You spoke in terms of which year and your achievements and even your failures, giving a more clear idea about how it has been for you. So, very well articulated. Also, when we are talking about challenges, you again conveyed your points very clearly, setting exact expectations as to what you need or what you will require from the company in terms of assistance. So very well done. Just one suggestion here would be, Sheesh, that when an interviewer asks you something about yourself, this is what the question which is going to set the base of the interview. So you can also talk about your hobbies here or some of your interests. For example, I have keen interest in reading about business tactics or business skills or whatever it is that your interest lies in. For example, as far as what I know, you're also interested in content creation, right? So that is also something you can add here as multi-talented or, the multitasking and how you have an idea about other domains as well and how all these other skills can also benefit the company in the long run. So maybe a little of it you can add, not to elaborate too much, but just to put it out there, just so that they get an idea about who you are as an individual. All right. Apart from that, well done.
Thank you, Juhi.